Just be consistent. We've all heard that advice, right? It sounds so straightforward, so simple. But let's be honest, if you've ever actually tried to start a new habit, you know the reality is way, way messier. So today, let's get into why that is, and more importantly, what we can actually do about it. Sound familiar? You start off with a ton of energy, you're super motivated, and then, well, life happens. You get tired, you get busy, something unexpected pops up, and that shiny new routine just fades away. And the absolute worst part? It's that voice in your head that starts calling you lazy or undisciplined. You look around, see other people who seem to have it all figured out, and you just think, what is wrong with me? But what if I told you this changes everything? Seriously, read that again. What if the problem isn't you at all? What if the problem is just the plan? This idea is a total game changer. It shifts the entire conversation from you being a failure to you having a design problem that we can actually solve. Okay, so let's talk about this trap we all fall into. We think being consistent is about having superhuman willpower. Just gritting your teeth and pushing through no matter what. But that's not it. Real long-term consistency isn't born from brute force. It's the natural result of having clarity, managing your emotions, and, this is the big one, having a really good system. And here is mistake number one. We wait to feel like doing something. But motivation? It's fickle. It's a fair weather friend. It shows up when things are great and disappears the second things get tough. People who are truly consistent haven't found some secret well of endless motivation. Nope, they've just built a structure, a system that doesn't really require much motivation in the first place. They've designed the system to win. So if it's a design flaw, we gotta be good designers and figure out what's broken. Let's diagnose the most common reasons our best laid plans just completely fall apart. Oh, this is a classic. We make plans for this fantasy version of ourselves, right? The one who has endless energy, wakes up at 5 a.m. and never has a bad day. But we're not planning for our real selves, the ones who are tired after work and just want to watch Netflix. And here's the thing. The bigger the habit, the more perfect the conditions have to be for you to actually do it. And you can see the difference so clearly right here. A 45-minute workout? That needs time, energy, maybe the right playlist. But 5 push-ups? You could do that right now, before the next slide even loads. We tend to dismiss these tiny actions because they don't feel significant. But guess what? They're the absolute bedrock of consistency. So many of us are chasing that perfect, unbroken streak. We think consistency means never, ever messing up. And the second we miss one day, our brain goes, well, that's it. It's ruined. Might as well quit and start over next month. That all or nothing thinking is a total trap. So when we do miss that day, what happens next? For a lot of us, it's this wave of self-criticism. We beat ourselves up thinking that if we're just hard enough on ourselves, we'll get back on track. But shame is an absolutely terrible motivator. It just drains your energy and makes your brain connect the habit with feeling bad. And what does your brain naturally avoid? Things that make it feel bad. Sometimes the problem isn't in your head at all. It's in your house. Your phone is buzzing right next to you while you try to read. Your running shoes are buried at the back of the closet. The cookies are right on the counter. Fighting your own environment day after day is exhausting. It is not a sustainable way to build a habit. Okay, enough with the problems. Let's get to the good stuff, the solutions. The fix is not to just try harder. The fix is to be a better designer and build a smarter system. One that's realistic, that's forgiving, and that pretty much runs on autopilot. The key here, the absolute golden rule, is to lower the entry point. You have to make the new habit so ridiculously small that your brain can't even argue with it. The goal isn't to be a hero on day one. The goal is just to start. A habit that feels too small to fail is precisely the right size to build real, lasting momentum. And please stop relying on willpower or your memory to get things done. Instead, just link your new habit to something you already do without thinking. So, after I brush my teeth, I will do 2 minutes of stretching. Or after I pour my morning coffee, I will write 1 sentence. This is called habit stacking. It takes the decision-making out of the equation and puts the new behavior on autopilot. It's so tempting to go for those huge, intense efforts because they feel so productive, right? A 2-hour gym session, writing 1,000 words. But intensity is brittle. It leads to burnout. There's a much more powerful, more sustainable way to approach this. So instead of focusing on one-off heroic performances, I want you to focus on your identity. Every single time you do your tiny habit, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. A person who exercises, moves their body. A writer writes. Even one sentence is a vote for your identity as a writer. Those small votes add up way faster than you think. Let's get really practical for a second. Take a look around your space and just ask, what is making this harder than it needs to be? And then just remove that obstacle. Lay out your workout clothes so you trip over them in the morning. Keep your journal open on your desk with a pen right on it. You want to engineer your environment so the path of least resistance leads directly to your good habit. Now this is my favorite tip. It is a secret weapon. Look, bad days are going to happen. They are not an exception. They are a guaranteed part of life. So plan for them. Define what your habit looks like on your worst day. Maybe your full workout is 45 minutes, but the minimum version is just 5 minutes of stretching. This is how you keep the habit alive and protect your momentum when life gets chaotic. And now for the final and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. For any of this to stick, we have to completely change the way we measure success. Forget about perfect, unbroken streaks. They're fragile. One slip up and the whole thing shatters. A much better way to measure consistency is this. How quickly do you get back on track? Missing one day isn't failure. The real skill, the true mark of consistency, is returning the next day with all the drama and shame. That's the win. So maybe we just need a kinder, more realistic definition. Consistency isn't about giving 100% effort every single day. That's impossible. It's simply about staying connected to the behavior. Some days, your best is a full-blown workout. And other days, your best is just putting on your running shoes and walking to the end of the driveway. Both count. Both keep you in the game. And really, this is what it all comes down to. You have to be kind to your present self. Build a system that the you of right now can actually handle, not some perfect future version of you. The goal isn't to be heroic. The goal is to be repeatable. So I'll leave you with that question to chew on. The next time you feel like you're failing at being consistent, I want you to stop. And remember, it is not a character flaw. It's just feedback. It's your system telling you that it needs a redesign. So don't give up. Just design better. Start smaller, make it easier, and build a system that works for the real, amazing person you are today.